understand this. Dopamine is what controls your movement, is what gives you the capacity to move. And the first thing that inspires humans to connect with other humans is the dopamine. Your body releases dopamine, tells you that this person has traits that you will like, and so it releases it, and what it causes is excitement, but also a desire for movement, right? An overreaction, a lot of twitch, a lot of like, oh my God, they're so amazing. You will literally do everything from them. There's no lack of non-action, no lack of it. And that's the thing that people forget, right? About dopamine, is that it doesn't just regulate your moods. It also literally gives you the capacity to move. So the higher the dopamine that you release, the more action they'll do. Right? This is why non-action a lot of the times tests whether or not they like you. Because if you're noticing that they're very relaxed, very nonchalant, they take a long time to text, they forget to text you back, that's a sign that the brain is not releasing dopamine at the thought of you. Plain and simple, right? Why? Because non-action is a response, essentially, to laziness and forgetfulness, right? Well, let's turn this on, people. There you go. Because I forgot to put this on. There you go. Boom, right? So non-action is a response to laziness, meaning what you're saying is that, hey, you're not firing dopamine anymore. You're boring me. You're making me bored. Why? Because you're being lazy. Naturally, the funny thing is that our response to people's laziness, our response to people's forgetfulness is more dopamine. So what you're doing is that you are reinforcing lazy motherfuckers with your attention. Fuck that shit. See what I'm saying? So non-action is a way to show them that you're boring me. This is no fun anymore. And this is what people fear the most. They fear that you wake up. Because a lot of the times, our fear of losing them causes us to go in the opposite direction, which is what they really wanted. Oh, fuck. Is that shit? No, that's... Okay, no, I thought that was shit. I was like, get the fuck out of here. This is the weirdest fucking pitching shit ever in my life. Right? So remember, excessive, creepy action validates them. Right? It tells them that they have control over you. Because you gotta understand, some people just want power. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Some people just want power. And as soon as you start overreaction, and look, this is, man, and this is the thing, this is not weird. Like, this is how most humans react when we like someone. The problem is that the world is becoming so jaded, so distant, so afraid of getting hurt, that nowadays people wrongfully interpret basic interests into you're creepy, you're needy. Well, that's because people are just not used to humans. People don't know that this is how humans truly are. They're so isolated, and they're watching how they should behave from social media rather than literally watching how people are. You'll notice that that's how everyone is. But unfortunately, the world that we live in, we have to play a game. And if you don't choose to play that game, you're gonna be misinterpreted all the time, every single time. And that's why doing less non-action, especially at first, the problem is that too many people start strong, right? We start with showing too much interest. We have no self-control. Because what's really happening is that, tension is always building up when we are alone, when we watch other people in relationships, when we watch another person date someone that we want to date. That tension and resentment builds up. And that resentment, we don't want to show it. Why? Because we don't want to seem creepy. We want to seem normal. We want to fit in. So we suppress it. And rather than action on the outside, there's internal action. And that action is usually attacks you from within. You start telling yourself a story why people don't like you. And so this pent up tension is building up. And then we meet someone, for example, I'll meet a girl and I've been so lonely that when I meet her, I drop the ball. When I meet her, I get needy. I do everything for her. I'll do everything. And that's because there was tension on the inside. And so we use others to deal with our inner tension. And that's why non-action works, because even they feel that. They also feel that. That's why I tell you guys, man, always start with less. Always start here and build and slowly escalate your action. Too many people start at a 100. It's almost like when you're watching a movie, it's like watching a movie in the middle. Like they begin the movie right in the middle of the action. They don't build up the movie. They don't have the patience for that. And that's why non-action, as powerful as it is, as much as it triggers people into action, as much as it wakes, because think about it, when they're being lazy, let me tell you something, man, a big part of this is just saving time. It's just saving time, because I'll be honest with you, if somebody likes you, you don't need to do this. You don't. The problem is that there's just too many fucking fake people who are there to waste your motherfucking time. Plain and simple. Some people will literally choose, say yes to you, want to date you, and then the last day to meet, and then the day to meet up, they'll disappear. Some people will say, yeah, I want to be a boy. Yeah, I want to be in a relationship, and then they'll cheat on you on the first week. Some people are just time wasters, and they're really hard to identify because they hide. They're really good at that. So you got to learn how to do this. So how do you do this? Well, remember, there's a lot of pent up energy on the inside, right? There's a lot of pent up energy. And that energy, if you don't feel that energy, which most likely you're not because you're suppressing it through validation. Validation suppresses negative feelings and numbs these feelings. It's like cocaine to pain. It numbs it. And so you think you don't have a problem, but it's almost like walking. I remember one time I tore my ligament and I didn't know for like a year, no, for like 2 years. Why? Because there was no pain receptors, right? This happens where you walking and you're hurt, but you don't notice it. All you're seeing is the consequences of your action. You think you're normal, when in reality you're traumatized. You just don't know it, and that's why, and you haven't addressed it. That's why I tell you guys, a lot of our issues is really just learning how to do nothing. Be more still. There's a lot of unprocessed emotions. When I say unprocessed, I mean emotions you haven't felt because it hurts too much. So you look away and try to distract yourself. And through drugs or validation. And so the way to, and that suppression and that emotion that's suppressed is what becomes uncontrollable when you meet someone that you like. You know, you only have patterns of behavior that you can't stop because those patterns come from emotions that you haven't felt because it hurts too much. If you would process those emotions, when you meet someone, you wouldn't fall into those habitual, repetitive patterns that you keep repeating and you keep telling yourself you're not going to do no more. So how do you do that? Non-action, internal non-action. Meaning, literally, don't move and do nothing and just look. Non-action. Your body says, I want to get up, I want to check my email, and you say, no, I'm meditating. Let me observe. You're really learning a very abstract thing, which is this. I'm choosing to do nothing. I'm done. Okay, now I'll choose to do other things. This muscle is the fundamental muscle that everyone has. It is literally controlling your dopamine. And this allows you to, when you get a text from someone and they're acting weird and inconsistent, you say, should I respond? And similar to you meditating, no, I'm gonna sit down and keep meditating even though I have 5 more minutes left. I'm gonna keep meditating even though I wanna get up. I see this text, I wanna text, fuck you. But you know what? I'm gonna put this phone down and not text back and do something else. That muscle of I'm not gonna do that comes from you meditating and saying, I'm not gonna move even though it itches. I am not gonna check my email even though everything in my mind is telling me to do that. You build that muscle, you practice that every day, and all of a sudden, when you feel a compulsive, repetitive behavior, because there's a pattern that you keep repeating, you could stop that pattern by just going like this. Just like when I was meditating, let me just do nothing and just observe and just feel that sensation. and feel that energy field, what you'll notice is that you'll feel an energy because it's telling you to move. But since you're not moving, that energy is not being reinforced through your action, through your reaction. So eventually that energy says, oh shit, like we keep coming, there's no one answers. We're trying to deliver this package of neediness and creepiness. Nobody's answering. Let's just leave. Just like UPS, right? It'll come back after a few days, but if you don't pick up the phone call, they're gonna stop coming back. It's literally the same thing with this, right? Where you are literally observing these desire to act, desire to get revenge, and that's what they love. They love pissing you off. They love seeing those overreaction. Why? Because it says, I am so attractive that I am making this person go to the store and get me this. They're literally my slave, my emotional slave. It's because I'm so attractive. Well, truth is, it's because you're needy and creepy and you have trauma. But to the ego, that's what they think. And that validation causes them to look at you in a condescending way. Because they're like, look at you. You can't control yourself. You want me so badly, just like everyone else does. Your non-action says to them, what the fuck? Where has my power gone? I remember they used to do everything for me. Now they don't. Am I losing it? What's going on? Right? And that's how you regain your power. So then, this permits you not to go back to them if that's the case. This permits you to walk away from them. Because the problem is that you don't know how to say no to your impulses. That's why you're needy and creepy. You don't know how to say no to those impulses. So if you just sit your butt down and observe those impulses to not meditate when you're meditating, those impulses to look at your phone and see how long you have, just relax, keep breathing and relax. And that, what you're doing, you're building the muscle so whenever you get a desire to text them, my man, I know they rejected me, but let me message them. Now you build that muscle through non-action. Look, man, in fact, on Patreon today, I'm gonna talk more about this, about how to develop this practice, because it takes time, but anybody could do it. That's why I tell you guys, check out that course, Emotional Mastery. It'll teach you what we just talked about today. It's so important to develop emotional resilience. And you develop those emotional resilience by saying no to your impulses. Like, what people just want you to do is to lose control. That's all they want. They want to instill panic. They want you to lose your capacity to think straight. It validates them. It validates them. The fact that you can't think straight. There's nothing wrong with that desire. The problem is that they only want it one-sided. They only want you to lose control, but they don't want to lose control. Now, when you're in love with someone, both of you motherfuckers should lose control. Both of you guys should have an uncontrollable desire to be with each other. That's what it should be. And your non-action eventually, inevitably, will bring you someone like that. The problem is that we just react to the wrong people, man. We just react to people who don't give a fuck about us. You know, like we give the wrong people attention. And so what you have to do is learn how to give the right people attention, right? So remember, let's see this. Excessive, creepy action validates them. And that action is because they're being lazy, they're being forgetful, and they're being inconsistent. They validate that. In fact, they know, they damn well know that their inconsistent behavior should get you to leave, but you're not leaving. So they're looking at you, they're like, I thought they had better self-esteem. They do that. Like, I thought they were better than this. I thought they would just walk away. No, man. This tests whether or not they like you. Such an easy way to save time. Honestly, a big portion of all of this is identifying the wrong people. Because I swear to God, people just the people who don't want a relationship with you, think back all of the people who waste your time. Those people didn't give a fuck about you. They didn't give a fuck about you. They just went in it to waste your time. All right? And this is hard only because this is easy when they're ugly. This is easy when you don't like them. But this is hard when you like them. This is why you're dealing with your own traumas here, man. Honestly, you're dealing with your desires, with your disappointments. You're not dealing with them. You telling yourself, control yourself, don't overreact to them, pull away. You're not really trying to get them. What you really are is overcoming your insecurities. You're teaching yourself that I could be happy without them. I can make myself happy without their validation. You're teaching yourself that. And over time, you will see that that is a real thing that you could do. And the more you learn that you have an ecosystem with positive emotions emanating from you, the less you'll cling on to them. And from there, you could do perfect action, non-action, right? And one more quality of non-action is not trying. Stop trying to get them to like you. Just stop. Give up. Stop. Don't try. That's non-action. You're doing it in an effortless way. Don't try to win them over. Don't try to chase them. What you'll notice is that that's your most attractive self. When you're not trying to win them over, when you're not trying to get them to like you. And what you'll notice is that when you do that, which is, I'll be honest with you, this is one of those things that you're like, oh yeah, non-action. No, it's truly a byproduct of cleaning up your mind, of learning, of saying no to your impulses. And each time that happens, the impulses get less and less. Non-action comes from lowering your reactions through observation. It's not something that I could just tell you to do. You guys cannot do that. It's very difficult. You have to literally train your mind through these meditation, going to a 10-day Vipassana retreat, checking out the book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or checking out my course, Emotional Mastery. You do that and literally non-action becomes a natural part. And the beauty about it is that you'll notice people are more drawn to you. That's just how it is. It's just that simple. There were so many women in love with the Buddha because of his serenity. So many women were in love with Hare Krishna because of his serenity. Serenity and a peaceful mind is literally the most attractive trait. When they can sense that they can't shake you, when they can sense and they see you reacting to multiple situations with a calm mind, I'm telling you, man or a woman, you look masculine if you're a man, and you look feminine if you're a man. Look, man, sometimes I say to myself, you go too far sometimes with what I teach. Because it's kind of like when I watch myself and I feel like, this is not dating advice. This is not dating advice. I don't know, man. I don't know. But these videos must be so weird to some of you guys because of just where I take my my point. This is why I say I can't do a fake channel because my ideas are so not obvious, but you could tell if it's me by the depth of how deep I'll go in those topics, man. Anyways, man. Hopefully you guys can apply this, man. Check us out on Patreon today. We're gonna talk more about this topic today on Patreon. So go check us out right there. I forgot. I'm not giving it a name because I don't know what name to give it, but it's gonna be really good. So check us out. Take care. Are you needy and creepy? Do you have a tough time coming across confident when you like the person? A lot of the times you just don't know what to do. You have habits and patterns that whenever somebody triggers you, you completely forget what to do the right thing. Well, guess what? I have a course for that. And it's called The Psychological Game of Attraction, Natural Chemistry, and The Feminine Woman. What I call the fundamentals. All of those courses are meant to eradicate and exercise the needy, creepy parts in you through action. Meaning, you do what the videos say, and without a shadow of a doubt, you actually get the results. You'll notice that men call you back more. Men will want more relationships with you. They're gonna be the ones that are needy and creepy. They're gonna be the ones that want something. They're gonna be the ones that are the aggressors in trying to get a relationship out of you. But the problem is that a lot of people just watch one or two videos and completely forget that there's actually a system. Don't just watch one or two videos. Get the system either by purchasing all of them and get a discount or purchase them individually. Because a lot of the times just watching one video in isolation, you actually miss the big picture. You have to understand why it works. You have to understand what to do next. And a lot of times my videos just can't address that. A lot of people, you see by the testimonies right here, a lot of people have done what those videos say and they've gotten results. Like the other day, I was in Mexico and they were like, hey, Alexis. And I'm like, hey, oh my God, your videos are so great. And I'm like, and she was like, look at my kid. I'm like, what you talk about your kid? That's not my kid. She's like, no, no, no. Because of him, because of your videos, he's here. And I'm like, okay, all right, that's a. But I get that a lot. And ironically, that woman watches all of my videos, right? So purchase those courses, man. And if you don't like it, you actually could get a 30-day money back guarantee, right? Purchase them individually or get a discount and purchase them all by clicking on the description down below. You have the option of purchasing the one with the bonuses that obviously it's more material, where it's like I give you guys meditations. There's also other courses on how to make friends, how to master anything, or you could purchase it without the bundle, which is much more affordable. All right, and with that, you guys are able to support my channel, which will allow me to make more videos. Okay, anyways, see you guys inside, and thank you.